Meanwhile, families are starting to share pictures of their loved ones who were killed. They include students, a substitute teacher, and a teacher's aide. They are Kyle McLeod, Ann Perkins, Angelique Ramirez, Sabika Sheik, Chris Stone, Cynthia Tisdale, Kim Vaughn, and Shauna Fisher. We don't yet have the names of the two remaining victims who were killed. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers go out to their families.
This morning, investigators are at Santa Fe High School trying to piece together what happened.
And our Melissa Correa is live there for us. Melissa, what's happening at the campus this morning?
Well, it is still blocked off with crime scene tape. State troopers are making their rounds, Ron, making sure that folks don't step onto campus. But as we look at the parking lot of Santa Fe High School, it is as if time has stood still. These are the vehicles belonging to students and staff. They have been parked since they pulled into the campus yesterday morning. And about 24 hours ago, this place was swarming with law enforcement. We had ambulances also in this parking lot, life flight helicopters in this parking lot as authorities were working to grasp with what was happening yesterday. Investigators from the feds down are continuing to scour the school for evidence, and the FBI warned us all yesterday that they would be in Santa Fe for a while. You and Brandy had mentioned that initially the district had hoped that students and staff could come onto campus as of 9 a.m. yesterday. They've since pushed that back to noon, and students and staff who are interested in picking up their vehicles now need to meet at a junior high, and they'll then be bused over here. We are all waking up to the realization that yesterday was not a dream, and in spite of how tough this is on Santa Fe, the community showed up in droves last night for a vigil. 15-year-old Evan San Miguel, who was shot, is among the group of survivors who wanted to pray.
I just keep thinking, if I go back there, am I going to remember everything that happened? It scares me.
I didn't think that this would actually happen, but then it's been happening everywhere.
They are not alone. High school students from all across the country are now using social media to send love and support to Santa Fe. We know students from the Houston area plan to reach out to high school students here over the weekend to see if there's anything these young adults can do as they continue to grieve and mourn the 10 people shot and killed inside the campus yesterday. As I mentioned, state troopers are making their rounds. They're actively patrolling this area. And I've got to tell you, while Highway 6 is back open, you can hear traffic moving behind me. This entire shoulder from the beginning to the end of the campus, guys, is covered in international media. All eyes are now on Santa Fe and this community that's now coming to grips with what happened inside that campus yesterday. Brandy and Ron.
Melissa Correa live at Santa Fe High School for us this morning. Thank you.
Well, in the middle of all this tragedy, there have been moments that have touched all of us as we come together for Santa Fe.
One of those came late last night when one of Houston's biggest names stepped up to help again.
We learned that Texans superstar J.J. Watt was so moved he'll personally pay for the funerals of all the victims of the shooting. One of the biggest Texans continues to show he has one of the biggest hearts. Also, Mount Olivet Cemetery is offering free plots for those who died.
And just minutes ago, a family assistance center opened for the victims and their families at Aldersgate United Methodist Church.
Troy Kless is there on FM 1764 in Santa Fe with how the community is helping out. Troy.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at Aldersgate United Methodist Church, and this is where any victims or victims' families can come get any assistance they need. The Red Cross tells us that any of those people can come until 6 p.m. tonight to get those resources. And as you can see, many people are pulling into the church as we speak right now early this morning. A church member tells me that actually one of the shooting victims was a member at this church here, and the member who talked to me off camera mentioned that he went to this church for over 20 years, and that of course a lot of the families grew close together, as close as this Santa Fe community is right now. Many families of course are leaning on each other to again support people who are still coping with what happened yesterday. And again, people can come get help that they need right here at the church, only a few miles away from the high school. Live in Santa Fe, Troy Kless, back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Troy.
While everything was happening, a lot of kids, they grabbed their smartphones to document what was going on at their school.
And they shared those videos on Snapchat as they ran from the shooter. Take a look. You can hear the alarms in the background and the panic from students who were literally running for their lives. Let's take you back above Santa Fe High School now. Air 11 providing these images all morning.
The search for answers went into the overnight hours, just 3 miles away at a home where the suspect is believed to have lived. That's where Kaylin Norwood picks up the story. She's off Highway 6 for us live. Kaylin, what does the scene look like now?
Well, a calm morning here in comparison to yesterday's chaos. This is the home that is believed to be linked to the suspected shooter who opened fire inside Santa Fe High School. He is currently behind bars in solitary confinement. But take a look. This is new video of investigators searching the home overnight. We're told they bagged up evidence until around midnight before wrapping it up. Now, police say Demetrius Pagorchis walked into Santa Fe High School armed with guns and explosives. He opened fire, killing 10 people, hurting 10 others, and forcing hundreds of terrified students and staff to run for their lives. He told investigators that during his killing spree, he purposefully didn't shoot the people he liked. He also said he wanted to commit suicide, but instead gave himself up. He's charged with capital murder and aggravated assault of a police officer. A judge denied bond.
These are very serious charges. Either one of those charges, I would likely deny bond, but with both of them, it was an easy decision.
At his arraignment, Pagorchis held his head down. He requested a court-appointed attorney. Now, this is just day 2 of what is expected to be a long investigation. His attorneys say that right now, the family isn't emotionally ready to make any sort of statement. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Kaylin Norwood, live just outside of what we believe this was the suspect's home.
One of the victims who was injured, Santa Fe ISD police officer John Barnes, is recovering in the hospital this morning.
Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo says Barnes is hanging in there.
Barnes, who is 49 years old, was the first to engage the shooter, and he ended up being shot in the elbow. At last check, Barnes remains in critical condition. We know he underwent hours of surgery. He spent more than 20 years as a Houston police officer before going to work for Santa Fe ISD.